మలబార్ గోల్డ్ అండ్ డైమండ్స్ ప్రపంచంలో పెద్ద జ్యువెలర్స్ లో ఒకటి ఇప్పుడు డాలస్ కి వచ్చారు. అందమైన తేలికైన జ్యువెలరీ డిజైన్ల నుంచి చేతో తయారు చేసిన అతి క్లిష్టమైన కలెక్షన్ల వరకు 20 దేశాల నుంచి 30,000 విధాల ప్రపంచంలోకెల్లా ఉత్తమమైన జ్యువెలరీ డిజైన్ల అనుభవాన్ని పొందండి. 5,000 చదరపుటడుగల విలాసవంతమైన షాపింగ్ ఏరియా మలబార్ గోల్డ్ అండ్ డైమండ్స్ షోరూమ్ ని డాలస్ లో విజిట్ చేయండి. ప్రపంచ స్థాయి జ్యువెలరీని కొనుగోలు చేసే అనుభవాన్ని పొందండి. Malabar Gold and Diamonds now open in Dallas.
గెలుపే ఊపిరిగా, పట్టుదలే ప్రాణంగా, ఆశయమే గమ్యంగా పోరాడే యోధుడికి విజయం అన్స్టాపబుల్. ప్రశ్నల్లో మరింత ఫైర్, సర్దాల్లో మరింత సెటైర్, మీకోసం మరింత రంజుగా. దెబ్బకి థింకింగ్ మారిపోవాలా? మీకోసం మరింత రంజుగా.
अब तू देख लेगा बच्चन साहब का खेल.
డౌన్లోడ్ ఆహా నౌ.
ఆకర్షణీయమైన చీరలు, అప్పురపరిచే ధరలు, అందరికీ నచ్చిన, అందరూ మెచ్చిన షో మన లక్కీ మహిళ. బోలెడంత ఎక్సైట్మెంట్, వండర్ఫుల్ విన్నింగ్ మూమెంట్స్.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్ చెప్పారు, మీరే గెలుచుకున్నారండి. కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్. $220.
సెలబ్రిటీ గోస్ట్లు, అదిరిపోయే పంచులు, సరదా సరదా కబుర్లు.
ఆశ దోశ అప్పడం బడ హెల్ప్ మీరు ఆడుతున్నారు.
ఇలా మరెన్నో మెమరబుల్ మూమెంట్స్ తోటి 3rd యానివర్సరీ జరుపుకుంటోంది మన లక్కీ మహిళ. Watch it live only on TV Asia Telugu. మీ అందరికీ 3rd యానివర్సరీ శుభాకాంక్షలు.
మలబార్ గోల్డ్ అండ్ డైమండ్స్ ప్రపంచంలో పెద్ద జ్యువెలర్స్ లో ఒకటి.
Hello and welcome back to yet another fabulous episode of our talk show with experts. మనతో ఉన్న మన immigration expert Rahul Reddy garu. Rahul garu, thank you so much for being on the show today, Andy.
Thanks for inviting Nitya garu.
This show has been brought to you by Malabar Jewelers. They've opened a brand new store in Dallas. Guys, the collection is unbelievable. Do not wait any further. Go with the gold rush and buy yourself the best. Supported by movers.com and AHA OTT platform. Watch us on Yup TV, Facebook, YouTube, Sling TV, World BBTV and Dish Network. Rahul garu, before we move on to the topic for today, I just wanted to briefly touch upon, what has happened to the H1B lottery. Is it out yet? Can you give us an update on that, please?
H1B lottery started. We started receiving the notices saying that it's been selected somewhere about 2 p.m. Central Time of USA, about 3 p.m. Central Time of USA on Friday, which is what it is, which is on Friday. So, but at this point of time, there are reports that anywhere between 15% to about, depending on how many people have filed in the master's quota or bachelor's quota, about 28-30% is the percentage of people that got selected. We yet don't know the full numbers with regards to how many people have applied for the green card. It seems that the USCIS have done some fraud prevention when people are filing for duplicate applications, though. That means that there are like multiple companies, let's say 5 companies choosing to apply for multiple people, the same people with 5 different companies. So they have some fraud detection that may have prevented those fraudulent people to get the lottery. There is possibility, because otherwise I've heard a lot of rumors that some of these people wanted to commit big amount of fraud just to get in the lottery, though. It seems that USCIS has done some preventive methods. I don't know if it worked fully, if it's going to work fully. We still need to look into whether or not it works. But yeah, between 15 and 20, about 28% is the maximum that people are reporting right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. So, Rahul, just going back to that point where you touched upon, like, you know, Microsoft can be applying an H-1B for you, and Google can also be applying an H-1 for you. Is that something that's considered fraudulent, or is that a genuine case where they can have?
No, if Microsoft and Google wants to apply, definitely they are not the same company. They are not related to. They really have a job opportunity in Microsoft or Google, then only they will apply for the H-1B. However, there are some consulting companies, and some of these consulting companies, the owners of those companies are operating from outside the United States. It's easy to open a company in USA. So, and they apply in the lottery. If they get in the lottery, they'll get the project. But at the time when they file in the lottery, they're supposed to have a project there. They don't have those projects. And these people, what they do is that if let's say, for example, somebody has a project with Coca-Cola company, though. So these people approach them, hey, I'm going to file the lottery system. $10, I mean, come on, it's not that costly to apply in the lottery system. They do apply in the lottery. They apply with 5 different companies at the same time. When they apply 5 different companies at the same time, the same employer who's sitting in India operates with 5 different companies and apply in a lottery. That is definitely a fraud. And especially small consulting companies that, you know, that don't have any much projects filing for the multiple things. Yes, that is where the fraud is, but not when Microsoft and Google files it.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Sorry, Andy, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but please go ahead.
No, that's all. Go ahead.
All right. Now, coming back to the topic for today, Rahul Garu, we're talking about Indian nationals being in limbo. We'd like to analyze the April 2023 visa bulletin, and also, you know, what is going to happen, because it sort of seemed like on a downward trend. You know, can you tell us a little bit more about the future of EB2 and EB3 visas? We also know that EB1 is also in sort of a backlog and in trouble a little bit, but can you tell us a little bit more about, you know, what's in the future?
Yeah, first let's get into the backlog of the EB2 and EB3, okay?
Okay.
Now, EB2 was current up to December of 2014. In September of 2022, okay? Now, October 1st is where the year starts. Right. Remember, Nitegaru, in last year, we had extra 140,000 green cards to be given. Out of those things, a good number of them were being given to Indian nationals. That's the reason the priority date moved all the way to December 1st of 2014 in EB2.
Okay.
Now the date is January of 2011. We have extra 60,000 green cards. Normally, we are allocated, the total number of green cards are 140,000, okay? But we have, because of the COVID, family people not using the 60,000 green cards, we got 200,000 green cards available for the year, fiscal year of 2023. In spite of that one, the priority dates have moved back by almost 4 years, 2011, 13, 12, 1. Well, almost 3 years backlog.
Okay.
Even though we have excess 60,000 green cards, though.
Why is
That's
that?
bad news. Why? One thing is that people need to understand Indians are only allowed up to 7% now. If the other countries don't use it, then Indian nationals are going to get the leftover things. It's like this, there is a buffet, everybody is invited there, but if there is a rush there, they're going to stop Indians. And if they see that they will only allow 7% of the Indians, and they will stop the rest of the people. And if there is any leftovers, then they will allow the Indians. So what is happening is that in the past about 4 to 5 years, though, the demand for the other nationals has gone up. That means that we may get only up to 7%. Now, due to the excess numbers that we have in the fiscal year 2022 and 2022, we did get a lot of numbers. I mean, we are supposed to get 20,000 overall to get the green card in the 7%. Remember, because that's 280,000, 7% is approximately 20,000. 280,000, 20%. 280,000, 7% is approximately 20,000. We are supposed to get 20,000, and anything left over we are supposed to get. So how much we got? The leftovers were 70,000 leftovers. We got the green cards. So 20,000 that's supposed to come to us, plus
50.
Plus we got 70,000 extra green cards last
70.
year.
Okay.
Right. So now this year, the other country national demands are the same. So last year, out of the 280,000 green cards, though, the other country national demand was 190,000 demand from the other country nationals.
Okay.
So this year, the total allocated green cards are 200,000. Because 140,000 plus 60,000 left over is 200,000. The previous year, it was 280,000, okay? But it is only 200,000 this year. Out of the 200,000, we get 7%, which is 14,000 green cards. Now, on top of that, whatever is left over, we are going to get it. We don't know what the leftover is because we'll come to know it at the end. It seems there is a lot of demand from outside. We're going to get very little leftover things that are not used by other country nationals into it. Now, when the leftovers are, there are a little bit more leftovers normally in EB1,
Okay.
and less leftovers in EB2, and a little bit excess leftovers maybe in EB3, okay?
Right.
So that's the reason why EB3 is a little bit ahead of EB2. Now, coming to the picture though, in EB2, how many are we allocated after the 200? We are approximately about 60,000 green cards are allocated for the EB2. Out of the 60,000 green cards allocated to EB2, 7% of the 60,000 is about, if I'm not mistaken, about 4,000? No, 7.
Yeah.
About 4,200, 4,300 is the 7% that's allocated. Now, please make a note, Nitya Garu. That counts the family members too.
Okay.
Okay, one for the main applicant, one for the dependent. So that counts to about approximately about 2,500 families, less than 2,500 families. We are going to get it, and anything that is left over, which seems that there may not be much left over in EB2, and there are a lot of people who are already in the line. So the USCIS has to prioritize whom should they give the green card to. Should they give the green card to the person whose priority date is November 2014 or the person who is December 2010? Of course, they have now prioritized saying that we're going to give the people whose priority date is before January of 2011 for the EB2.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people that are still waiting whose priority date is 2011 after January and all the way to December of 2014. So it may take a long time for these people who are in the pipeline to get the green card.
Okay.
Now, in the fiscal year of 2024, starting in October 1st of 2023, we are going to go back to the 10,000 overall green cards because out of the 140,000, 10,000 green cards. So it may take a lot of time for the people who already applied for the green card, who are waiting Indians to get cleared for them.
Got it.
So to expect the priority date to move after January of 2015, unless something happens, like, sky may fall down. Who knows? Who knows? COVID would have come and given us the extra 70,000 green cards or 80,000 green cards. So all those things can happen, miracles can happen, but at this point of time, it's going to be a lot of backlog for the people who have been waiting to file the priority date, to file the 485. You might want to think to stay long periods of time without filing 485. The people who are in the pipeline may want to think like this, that, okay, this is a normal, it's going to take a long time. EAD extension, advanced parole extension are not that bad of a thing. They automatically get approved. You don't have to go to the employer. You don't need end client letter. You don't need vendor letter and all those things. So, and there is no filing fees also, luckily for you guys, for those people who are filing. So please plan on to stay here for a long period of time before you get the green card. Now, we do support the people that the administration should stop counting the family members. So any of you guys, please write the letters. We have put a TVHS, put it down there. If they stop counting family members, there may be some administrative changes. If they do, then we are good. Otherwise, we're here for a long haul. You might be our clients of TVSA for a long period of time, which is not a good thing.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we move on?
There is a rumor that's going on, Nitya Garu, that the people who are on B1 and B2, now, there is ఒక సామెత ఉందండి తెలుగులో చెప్పాలి. అదిగో తోక అదిగో పులి ఇదిగో పులి, everybody starts, there is tiger, everybody, the whole village runs away. Then they come to know, I only said I saw a tail. I didn't say it was a tiger's tail. And somebody interpreted as, oh, it's a tiger's tail. Well, that means there must be tiger. Then somebody said, no, it's a tiger. So there is no truth. I don't know what's going on with the Indian media. When it comes to the US immigration, they want to attract the people. Previously, they said, 180 days of unemployment is allowed if you are moving from company A to company B on H-1B. I don't know where they got the rumor. It was there on the headline news in most of the southern Indian newspapers. Now, all of a sudden, they're getting B2. Visiting and B2 business visa people can work. I don't know where they got it.
Really?
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can see it. It says that B2 people, they can work. No, that's not true, guys. B2 people who are on business visa or who are on the visiting visa, they cannot be fully employed here in United States. Now, can they apply for the job? Anybody can apply for the jobs. Applying for the job is different. Allowing to work in United States is different. You are not allowed to work on a B2 visa. So especially on the visiting visa, you're not allowed to work. There are some incidental to your business. Maybe you can come in and solicit business like a salesman or something like that. But no, as a full-fledged programmer or a full-fledged software guy working as a consultant, no, that's not allowed on a B2 visa.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. All right. Let's take our next first caller for today. All right. Caller with number ending in 7595. 7595. We're ready for you now. Hello?
Yes, I'm ready. But
Hi, sir.
hello.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. My question is a different context, and not because EB1, EB2.
Sure.
Can I talk to this in this platform?
Sure, sir. Please
Yes, go ahead. If it's immigration, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah. Hello, sir. So recently I got married, and my wife is.
Hello?
What happened? Your
Hello?
tone went down.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay. So she's my mother. Like, can I talk in Telugu? That's fine.
Yeah.
Sure, sir. Please go ahead.
Mardal.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what that
So-
means. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, she's my
Mardal,
Mardalu,
not
and
Dils, Mardal,
we
Mardal
applied
Dils.
for ఓకే H4 వీసా అప్లై చేసామండి. సో ఇంటర్వ్యూకి వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇండైరెక్ట్ గా క్వశ్చన్ అడిగినప్పుడు వీ డిడ్ నో దట్ ఇక్కడ కజిన్ మ్యారేజ్ లా ఉంటుందని చెప్పి, సో వీ టోల్డ్ ద స్టోరీ.
Right. How
And
do you met?
H4
How do you met?
reject
How
అయింది.
do you met with each other? And then you said, "This guy is my first cousin," and that's it. That screws it up. Now, which
Yeah,
state do
it's
you
my-
live in? Which state do you live in?
I live in Arizona.
Arizona. I want you to move to very next to Nitya Garu's house and apply for the visa again. And here is the reason, though.
That's
Okay, because in some states, the first cousin marriages are not legally recognized.
yes.
They don't allow it. Now, according to the immigration laws, though, technically, if a marriage is valid and recognized in the state where you got married, though, whichever country you got married, they should honor it, even if it's a first cousin's marriage. However, though,
Okay.
according to they give an exemption, like a public health grounds. I don't know why they put that thing. Is that in the interest of the public, they don't want that to be allowed. Even though, for example, in Texas, though, they don't recognize the first cousins' marriages if it happens in Texas. However, though, if it happens elsewhere, wherever it's legal, the Texas allows people to have the first cousins' marriage to be fine. Okay. Now, but on the interest of the on the public interest, because of the public interest, the consulates are rejecting, saying, "No, we're not going to approve it." However, when it comes to Georgia, though, which is where Atlanta, where Nitya Garu is there, the first cousin's marriage is perfectly legal. They can get married in Georgia. It's allowed. So what we normally tell people is to move your residence to Atlanta and then apply for the H4
Okay.
visa.
So-
Okay?
Plus, you have better weather
How-
here
until-
than Arizona.
Yeah, Chappan.
Yeah, that's agree.
Chappan,
But how about like future plan? Like if you apply for green card, this will
No,
be
you
a
won't have any problem with
or
the green
else-
card. No, you won't have any problem with the green card. It's only the first entry into United States where she's coming on H4 visa and further H4 visas also. But will you have any problem getting the green card? None. Zero, zip. Okay?
Okay. The only thing I have to show is like the proof that I moved to a state where is legal.
Where she's going to be
And can I
living
move
in
back?
and apply. You can. My only
Once
problem
you-
is once she goes for the H4 stamping again, then you're in the same soup again.
Okay.
Okay? Next person.
Yeah.
please.
Silly Evan Kodan. Sorry. Will it be
No,
in the
Chappan.
record and for the record?
You are on the record. It is whatever she told, it's there on the record. We cannot deny it. We cannot counter it. We cannot do anything. It's there on the record. There's nothing you can do it, nothing she can do it. It's there on the record. Now, what we normally train people is to diplomatically answer the question when they go to the consulate. If you would have consulted us before, though, I would have given some tips how they can diplomatically not lie, but not give out the information that they're seeking for. So they just normally casually ask, how do you meet? And then your wife went on blah, 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 blah. And that's where we got into trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know that this kind of law
I
existed.
know. So had you contacted us before, we would have trained how your wife should answer, should not answer, without ever, giving any false information. If they particularly ask, are you first cousins? Then of course she will have to answer yes to the question. But they didn't ask that question. She just blabbered it. Okay.
Right.
Next person, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Rahul Garu, this brings up an interesting point, Andy, because I don't know about the northern side of India, but this is a very typical scenario that occurs in the southern states, at least. you know,
Very less
marrying
to
your
some
cousins.
extent. But
Yeah.
what happens is that when you tell, when people are trained in the cultures where it is frowned upon, for example, my wife, like she's like she doesn't even attend the marriage if something like that is there. She doesn't attend the marriage because she's from Delhi. She doesn't attend the marriage. So they're being frowned upon by. So when the officers are adjudicating the case, though, they are supposed to not use their thing. They're supposed to use their legal things. What you like, what you don't like is not what you're being paid for. You're being paid for doing what is legal, what is not legal here. But they use their conscience is a little bit different, and they bring their conscience into picture and try to interpret the law in the way according to their conscience. That's wrong, but it's very hard to get over it. The only way to get over it is I normally tell people move to Atlanta. Or any nearby city.
I guess the recommended way is to at least contact a lawyer beforehand, you know.
If they are, contact the lawyer before, but a lot of people will come to this only after they get the denial. Very rarely we get any consultations before. It's only afterwards. So yeah, everything is in public. The record is there. When she goes out, why was the visa rejected before? I mean, it's because of the cousin's marriage. So she has to go through the things, and then she has to explain that, hey, Atlanta, it's legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I told you the state I live in is really good. Okay. But okay, Rahul, before we go to our next caller, there is one question from one of our viewers. This is a viewer who goes by the name I'm a Don. Okay, I'm a Don has a lot of jokes for us, but with one good question, what does Rahul think about the retrogression litigation outcome?
Very bleak, very bleak.
Okay.
One is that...
Sir, before you go into the answer, can you give us a little bit of background on what this retrogression litigation is about?
The litigation is about once the priority date has been current, though, it should be current all the time. That's how the litigation has been filed, though. It looks very weak at this point of time. It looks very weak. Mr. Banias is a good friend of me, and we partner with him in a lot of litigation. In this particular thing, we did not partner him. He's a very nice friend of me. It looks very weak to me at this point of time, though. There are certain things that the laws, if you want to change it, you have to go to Congress. Or if you want to change the interpretation of it, of course, you can go to the administration and do it. Now, we are challenging, we are telling that the government is interpreting it wrongly. We must have some basis from the Congress, though. That means from the Parliament, if the law is passed, that would contradict the way they are interpreting, then we have a good way of going there. So it looks very weak to me at this point of time, but let's see what goes on. Now, the argument is not that every priority date has to make it current. The litigation is not about it, because the litigation, what Mr. Banias was contemplating there is that once the priority date has become current, it should not move back.
Yeah.
He's speaking about the final action date.
Okay.
So, for example, in the September 2022 visa bulletin, the priority date is December 1st of 2014. So his argument is it should not go back beyond December 1st of 2014. It should be at December 1st, 2014 under all circumstances, because once a date is current, it should be current. That's his argument. It looks very weak to me. Let's see how it goes on.
So, but why? What causes retrogression, Andy? Like, you know, why is there a need for retrogression? Like you were saying, it's the most logical thing that when they announce a particular date, why does it keep moving back and forth?
Remember, in 2021, we wasted 60,000 green cards, is that right?
Right.
Because they were unable to adjudicate those applications. So what happens is that USCIS sometimes takes more applications than what they can eat.
Process, okay.
Okay, what they can process and what the numbers are available. Sometimes they're able to process more. For example, in fiscal year 2022, they were able to much more than 280,000 green cards, the case where they do it. But the allocated numbers are only 280,000. So when they move the priority date, they cannot predict it properly. Since they cannot predict it properly, they move the dates and welcome people to apply for the green card. Once in the pool, though, they're able to figure it out. When it comes, they're able to figure it out if they can give the green cards or if they don't give the green cards. If they can't give the green cards, though, then they move the dates back.
Okay.
So one problem here, which a lot of people are facing is, remember in September of 2020, we got the priority dates moved all the way to December of 2014 for EB3 in particular, and approximately May or June of 2011 for EB2.
Right.
They moved the EB3 well in advance, but not EB2. Right. Why? Because these people, like bureaucrats, what do you expect them? Right? I mean, they don't think with the brain. So what they looked into is the stats. They had the stats. How many number of people who are Indians who applied for EB2 who are waiting for the green card? They have the number. Now, they have the number that how many people who applied for EB3. Okay. So EB3 numbers were very, very, very low at that point of time. EB2 were very high. So they thought, okay, we're going to move EB3 forward because out of the numbers that are available, there are not enough applicants for EB3. They moved all the way to December 2014.
Okay.
These people, as I said, they didn't use the brain. Okay. They should have asked any lawyer, we would have told them, stupid guys, if you move EB3, we're going to file the downgrade applications and move the EB2 to EB3.
EB3, yes.
So all of a sudden, what we did is that when we filed the downgrade application, they were not prepared to take this application. It took 4 months to even open the package. So they didn't understood that people can do the downgrade applications. Yeah. A lot of lawyers were confused, but of course we were aware that with Chinese nationals, we used to do downgrade or upgrade. It's very common, though. We've been doing that for decades, for like 30 years we've been doing it. Not 30 years, I would say about 25 years, I did that.
Okay.
So they didn't realize that we're going to file the downgrade application. So EB3 is moved. Then what happened is that there were too many applications in EB3 and less applications in EB2 because the next year we got extra 140,000 green cards. Then all of a sudden, what did they move? EB2 forward.
Okay.
Then what happened? All of our people, we upgraded them by filing a 485J supplement. And then now they moved back to EB2, back to EB3. So definitely they need to take a feedback from us. They need to listen to TV Asia. Look at our audiences. We will tell them, hey guys, these lawyers can upgrade, downgrade so easily. They should know that. Our TV Asia audience will tell these people. So there is a lack of coordination there a little bit. At the same time, there is one other important thing is that every year there are a number of green cards that are allocated. As I said, 7% is for Indians, and the rest is the rest of the world. The rest of the world, they cannot tell how many people are going to be available who wants to use it. Because they come in, they get the green card, and they go out.
Yeah.
There's no waiting period for them for most, at least for that period of time. So because they can't predict how many other country nationals are going to use it, so that's also causes, if sometimes only 60,000 other people use, other countries people, Indians may get 80,000, which is not the case, but I'm just telling you that. So they can't predict the other country nationals. Now, in the past 2-3 years, we are seeing the trend that other country nationals are being going up. So that's the reason why there's a backlog. It's, I don't know if you got what I said, but it's very hard to explain.
No, I understood. Andy,
we tried to do a video on why the dates move forward, why the dates move backward. We bought a lot of set of different colored marbles. We tried to do a lot of rehearsals. We couldn't do it, a video, where I could make it very simple for the people to understand. It's my
I think
deficiency.
he kind of did make it simple by alluding to the LA traffic, you know.
That's better. That's better. That's better. You're right.
All right.
That's a little
Let's
traffic.
take
Yeah,
our next
lane-
caller. And
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller ending with 7595. Caller with number ending in 7595. We're ready for you.
Oh, sorry, Mike. No, I'm already done.
Oh,
Andy.
you already done? Okay, okay.
H4
Thank you for
Bulletin.
calling in. Sorry.
Yes.
All right. Not as much. All right. Let's take our next caller, guys. Okay. All right. Caller with number ending in 4049. 4049. We're ready for you now. Hello?
Yeah.
Hi. So please press *6 to unmute your line. *6. Hello?
Hi, Nitya. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Please go ahead, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Rahul Garu. Good afternoon. I have been following your show for a long time.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for all the service to the community. Right. So I have a few questions about the date movement, right? So since last year, right, though there is a lot of visas that are below from family-based, like 140,000 or 140K or something, right? We
You're
have
right.
got only 90K, right?
Yes,
Indians.
yes.
However, right, when we checked in the Philippines or China, all those countries, right, even though they also backlogged, Philippines got more than 7%, China got more than 7%, and how Philippines they managed was they stopped issuing family-based visas, and they gave the remaining visas under employment-based.
So are
Right.
you telling?
So,
They did not. So are you telling that the Philippine people got more than 7% of the total 280,000 green cards in fiscal year 2022?
No. If you calculate only 7%, they did not. But however, right, what they have done is they stopped issuing family-based visas, and they issued only nurse visas under EB3. Both are family-based and whatever the employment-based visa they have issued, all are overseas, like consulate process only. But they have stopped issuing family-based, and the same quota they have issued under employment-based. And before that, to make sure that to happen, what they have done is they made Philippines current. It was never current before 2020. And they made it to current, and then they started all these manipulations.
Okay, first
and the
of all,
same way, China also.
First of all, family-based is a different category than employment-based. They're completely different, though. Family-based,
I understand.
Family-based, the quota is still the same, 7% there. The countries that are more backlogged in the family-based, the number one is Mexico, the number two is Philippines, though. So if you're telling that they stopped issuing the green cards for Philippines in 2022 in the family-based, there is a possibility they might have hit the 7% lock on the family-based. That could be the possible, though. But there is no linkage between, like, they stopping the family-based is because of different reason. That's because they might have hit the 7%.
My bad. Yeah, my bad too. If you calculate 280K, they have issued more than 280K under employment-based. If you calculate family-based plus employment-based and calculate 7%, they have got less than 7%. But if you calculate 280K alone, they have got more than 7% of 280K.
7% of 280 in family-based or employment-based?
Employment-based.
I'm not aware of it.
And the same case is China. Yeah, same case with China as well.
Remember that it could be possible what you're telling is right. When you're telling 7% though, that's only if when it comes to the EB2 and EB3, that comes to be right though. Because EB1 was open for everybody, right? So when EB1 is open though, Chinese people can get all 20,000 there, all 30,000. That means there are 80,000 green cards available in EB1, is that right? Okay, you have 80,000 green cards available in EB1. And the rest of the EB2 and EB3, okay, the numbers are lower for them because there is other country national, Indians are also waiting for there though. So if Philippines and Chinese nationals, if there are number of applicants are more in EB1, they could claim more than 7%. You see my point?
They have very less count in EB1 and EB2. They have only 100 or 200 under EB1 and EB2.
Let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. I don't have the data. If you can, in front of me right now, if you can email me, we can discuss about it, okay? I don't have the data in front of me.
Sure,
confirm what you're telling, okay?
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling in, sir. Appreciate it.
And one more clarity, just for the B1, B2 that you have started, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So the B1, B2 confusion, how it happened was the USCIS tweeted last Thursday or Wednesday saying that once you lost the job on H1, you can stay up till 60 days. After that, you can move on to B1 and B2 and then search for the job, continue searching the jobs. Either you can come back on H1 or you can apply for AOS. That's what the tweet meaning. So that's where the confusion started. So earlier, everyone's assumption was if you are in B1 and B2, you should not be searching for the jobs or you should not be intended to do anything. That's a visitor visa or something, right? So that was the assumption. Now the tweet is saying differently and everyone started interpreting differently. Also, this is going in different direction for NIW people. Whoever applying the NIW from outside, they can, once they get a 140 approval, they can come on B1 and they can stay here and apply AOS. Immediately, they can start working on those things. So without having any visa, some people are, some US is trying to give some benefits to some other nations. So that's what it is interpreting.
Okay.
So that's what my take from that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the information.
Thank you, sir.
You're right.
Thank you so much for calling, Andy. All right.
That's what I said is that there is a tail. Then somebody says it's a tiger's tail. Then somebody says that it's not tiger. Then tiger everywhere. Next question, please.
And my cousin started asking today, can I come B1 first time US and then start searching for job? Can I apply H1 later? That's what he was asking me. So
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. All right. Question for you, Rahul Garu, before we go on to our next caller. This is from Tina Lewis. Since our priority date is May of 2012, we downgraded to EB3 and filed a 485 in October of 2020. Without interfiling, we got our GC in May of 2021 in EB2, E26, but the kid's case is still pending. Since EB3 is current, can we file a writ of mandamus to expedite the kid's case?
No, that is not ideal here though, because now you got the green card in EB2 at that point of time. Since you have an I-140 under EB2, the USCIS has an authority to issue the EB2, which was current at that point of time. I would actually take the alternative route of filing the F2A family-based application for the kids and file the 485 application though. That would be in the best thing. Writ may open up wounds saying that, hey, you are claiming that you should be given EB3, we gave you an EB2, let me take your green card back.
And
there you got.
Okay.
Then you will be
Then you will be
na garka na gatka. So no, I would not do that. What I would do is, hey, priority date is current at least as of this month, which is March. I'm going to file the 485 application in EB family-based 2A preference. That would be, since they are kids, they're not, assuming that they're, they're not going anywhere. And F2A, most probably, even though it's backlogged a little bit, it's going to come back again. I would file an F2A category.
All right. Rahul, got one other question. This is from Officially Me. He says, since the EB2 dates have retrogressed to Jan of 2011, does it mean that people who have received the GC for June 2011 is invalid now?
No, no way.
Okay.
Once you get the green card and when your priority date is current, you got the green card. That's it. You're out of my jurisdiction. You don't need Rahul Reddy ever, most probably. And that's good. You don't need to. If the priority date is current on that day, later on it moves. Even there are people who got the green card whose priority date is November 2014. And they got their green cards. Now their green cards will be cancelled? No, no, no.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's take our next caller. Folks, let's take our next caller. Caller with number ending in 4085. 4085, we're ready for you now. Hello? Caller with number ending in 4085, we're ready for you. Hello? Okay, let's probably put this caller on hold. We'll revisit the caller. Let's take another caller, please. All right, caller with number ending in 2576. 2576, we're ready for you now. Hello?
Yes, I am ready.
Hello, sir. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Nagababu Kadavakollu. It's related to my son age lockout for the green card process. We have the approved EADs 2 years back. And he is currently 17 years old. So my EAD got approved in the EB3.
Wait, guys. EAD has no relationship with the CSP age calculation, though. So I am going to ask you a couple of questions. What is your what is your priority date?
December 14, 2014.
2014. When did you got your, you applied for it for EB3 or EB2 initially?
Initially, I have both EB3 and EB2 I-140. So as the date was current in 2020 for the EB3, we applied in EB3. So we got the EADs in EB3.
That is in October of 2020, you filed in EB3.
Correct. Yes.
And did you ever upgrade it to EB2 or you did not?
I did not. But I already have the I-140 and the EB2 as well.
Sounds good. Got it. So based on the calculation though, for a person to be CSPA, Child Service Protection Act, couple of things need to happen. The 485 and all of them have to happen at one single time. At one single time. 485 has to be filed. I-140 has to be approved. The filing dates have to be current. The child must be under 21. All four has to happen at the same time. They cannot happen differently though. For example, you could have filed the 485 in October of 2020 and I-140 was pending. It was not approved. But in your case, you're telling at the time of October 2020, your I-140 is approved, is that right?
No. We have filed the 485, including along with my family and for me as well. We filed the 485, but we got only the EAD approved.
No, sir. I asked you the question, and I'll ask you this again. At the time in October of 2020, was your EB3 I-140 approved or not?
Before that only I have the I-140, sir, in 2000.
So answer to my question is, in October of 2020, the I-140 is already approved, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So since the I-140 is approved in October of 2020, before and all those things are irrelevant, whether on that day it's approved or not, which is October 2020. You filed the 485 in October of 2020. The filing dates were current in October of 2020. Your child was under 21. So the child is now locked under the CSPA. If you would get the green card in the next 15 years also, or 20 years also, your child is protected. He's going to still get the green card. He or she is going to get the green card unless they get married. They get kicked out, okay? So all these 4 things, the child is locked. Go ahead with your questions now.
Yeah, I think you answered my question because I have the approved 140 on EB2 and EB3 as well. We filed the 485s in October
In EB3,
2020.
you're good.
For
All 4 things happened on the same day, which is October of 2022. Yeah. Print out the priority date, print out the I-140 approval, print out your son's age and filing dates. That's it. You're good. Frame it up and you're good. Next question, please.
Okay.
I wouldn't apply for a F1 visa for my child. That's my opinion, guys. Okay, you can do what you want to. If my child is locked on the CSPA. Next person, please.
Yeah, we got the EADs as well in August 2021.
EADs, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah.
That is a relevant statement for my CSPA.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. All right. Let's take our next caller.
Thank you.
All right. Caller with number ending in 9384. 9384. We're ready for you now. Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Hi. I have a question for Rahul, sir. Sir, have you heard any update about the Department of State visa stamping in
Good
US?
question. Yes, sir. We are expecting the visa stamping to happen within USA. We would see some experimental basis that will be coming in before the end of 2023. Okay, so maybe they'll start somewhere in June, July, August. When it says 2023, they may do it in September of 2023. For sure, by September of 2023, we are expecting the stamping. Initially, when they start, though, they may put a limitation, very strict, narrow number of people, because they don't want flood of applications coming in. They may say only if your passport stamping is still valid. They may put a lot of restrictions at that point of time, though. Later on, they intend to expand it more.
Okay, I have a question. So, sir, when this program used to be previously available, would you recall if advanced parole, when people used to enter US by using advanced parole, were they eligible for the program at that point?
That's almost like 20 years ago. I'm sorry, I couldn't reflect. I'm sorry, I couldn't
That's fine.
Yeah.
No problem.
But good question.
I just have one more question, sir.
But good question.
Yeah.
What he's telling is that if people have come back on advance parole, can they still apply for the visa stamping within USA? I'm sorry, but I don't have an answer, but very good question.
Yeah, I guess, in the next week or any other program, if you can find out, it will be helpful for people, because a lot of people are traveling on advance parole now.
Yeah. Well, we will have some interaction with the State Department. I definitely will pose that question to the State Department, whether or not they will be allowed or not. Now,
that will be really good, sir.
Even I will tell you one hacking thing. Okay, I will tell you one hacking thing. If they say that if you come in advance parole, we are not going to do the H-1B stamping within the United States, though. Okay. There are 2 things that comes into my mind. First of all, why do you need the stamping? Okay, let's assume that, of course, advance parole they're taking a long time. I take back a little bit on that extent. I have a hacking that we can hack it. If they say, if you come in advance parole, we're not going to do the H-1B stamping or H-4 stamping. What you do is go to Mexico, have a margarita, come back on H-1B or H-4, show the I-797. You have an I-94 that says it's H-1 or H-4. Okay?
Right.
I'm telling you this trick if they don't do it. Okay?
Right. Sir, just one more question I want to ask you about EB1A. Would you be able to tell if a person has a very high salary in his or her profession, does that qualify for the person to be a candidate for EB1A?
That will not be the sole reason for him to get an EB1A. There are 10 criteria under which the person could qualify for EB1A. The person must qualify for at least 3 of those categories to come under EB1A. Yes, the guy making a good amount of salary though may meet 1 of the 10 requirements, but we still need to shoot more. You see my point? 1 is not enough. We need 3 out of 10. You may meet 1, you may want to consider the other, rest of the 9. Normally, people are very conservative though in approaching the EB1A category though. I'll tell you an example of it. A postdoc comes and tells me the question, sir, I only make $50,000 or $60,000. I don't meet the criteria of making more money. Well, making more money is more relative though. Normally, postdocs only make $40,000. Okay, my guy is making $60,000. I will make an argument saying that's a high salary for a postdoc. Yeah, for you computer guys, that may be pennies, but for some of the people like us, $60,000 is a big amount. So I make the argument. I let the USCIS deny my argument. That's okay. I don't like to shoot only for 3. I would like to shoot for as many as possible. Okay. So even if the guy is making 60,000, but if it's a postdoc, I will still shoot for it. Yeah, if it's a software guy who is making only $60,000, I won't shoot for that point though. I will shoot for the other things. I may not shoot. Yeah, you still need to consider the other 10 points. We should try to argue the other things too. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller.
Looks to be brilliant and a rich guy.
All right. Caller number ending in 6867. 6867. We're ready for you now. Hello.
Hey, hello. Hi, Nitya Garu and hi, Rahul Reddy Garu.
Yes, correct.
Go ahead, sir.
Hi. Hey, just want to let you know you're doing a tremendous job. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You have to speak a little bit louder.
Sir, can you just speak up? Your voice is sounding a little bit muffled, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, ma'am. So my I'm waiting for the 485 to be current. So unfortunately, it went back 10 months. So I'll give us a small background. I applied the 485 in November 2021, right? And it was current until last year, November. So I expected I may get I-485 approved by at least September. So it did not, unfortunately. So it went back like October 2011. I thought mine is November, so it's just a 1 month, so I'm fine, I can wait. But unfortunately, last month, or the April bulletin, it went back 10 months, right? So now I'm in a dilemma what to do. So
can you not downgrade the application?
Yeah, so that is one of the questions. So is it okay if I downgrade the application to EB3? So that is, I have like few questions like, do I lose my H1 if I do that?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
What I would suggest you is right now, I want you to file an I-140 under EB3. Get the I-140 approval under EB3 as soon as possible, and then do the downgrade application to EB3.
Okay, sir.
Simple.
That is one of the. So before that, I have a question, not with you, but do I need to? Is there a way I can sue USCIS, because my date was current for almost a year, and I didn't got the I-485 approved. But yeah, go ahead, sir.
We tried to sue the USCIS on that particular matter. We failed many times. There is a decision from Patel versus USCIS where the courts have said that it's completely up to the discretion of the USCIS to approve the 485 application. So they cannot interfere into the 485 applications though. Definitely, when the dates are current, though, they will act upon it and they will normally adjudicate the application and go to court. But once it backtracks, though, going to the court, we have had so many failed attempts, though. I'm not telling you should not try, but our office is not trying it because people may consider we're cheating them. So yeah, if there is any other success that we see, any other law firm, then we may definitely look into why it's been successful. As of now, a lot of lawyers, including Reddy and MNPC, has tried that, and we failed. We failed in it. So I would not try that right now for you. Sorry about that.
Okay, got it, sir. So I'm in Houston right now, and so what's happening here is when Houston, it's KD, Houston.
Of course, very near to me.
𝐀𝐓𝐓𝐻.
I know. I'm from Houston, buddy, from past 25 years. I know where KT is. KT means. Okay.
So recently I moved from Connecticut. It's been almost like 8 months. So earlier Houston, when I was in Canada.
So let's get to the immigration topic, buddy. We'll discuss off the topic KT and Sugarland.
Right. So the topic here is when I called USCIS, they said I need to wait for 3 years to have my application, someone pick my application. But when I was in Connecticut, it used to be like few months, like 10 months from now. So if I move to EB3, if I downgrade my application to EB3, does it still be the same or it will be changing anything?
No, EB3 and EB2 doesn't much change though. What we recommend people at this point of time is that if your priority date is current and if your 485 has been pending for more than 18 months, sue the USCIS. That's what we recommend. Why should you take that extra expenditure? Look where you are. I mean, we put 18 months though, because we see that as judges are a little bit going towards that 18-month mark at this point of time. So why? Because if you don't sue though, the prior date may go back, just like this gentleman did, our KD guys did. So, but yeah, I mean, once you do the downgrade application, I want you to sue the USCIS if you have crossed. You did in November 2011. Yeah, you're going to cross the 18 months. You should sue the USCIS at that point of time. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for your information. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. All right, let's take our next caller. Okay, caller with number ending in 4085. 4085, we're ready for you now. Please press *6, Andy, to unmute your line. Caller with number ending in 4085. Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead, sir. Hi.
Hi, Nitya Garu. Hi, Rahul Garu.
Hi.
Hi, I have a quick question regarding my 485. So my priority date is at August 2011. I was been waiting for my green card for almost like more than a year and a half. So unfortunately, like last bulletin, it went back to January 2011.
2011, of course. That's next bulletin, yeah.
So, yeah, so is anyway like August is anyway closer in coming years, or that's again for a long wait?
Yeah. Well, I would. If you're married, let's ask your wife that question. Whether if she's going to be right, then I should get the credit because I told your wife is better picker than chooser than timing than I am. Or if she's wrong, we both will curse her. Okay. Now, having left that joke aside, though, let's come to the practicality. Yours is August 2011. You have an EB3 approval or you don't?
EB2.
No, do you have an EB3 I-140 approval or not?
No, I don't have EB3.
Can you get an EB3 I-140 approval right now?
This EB2 was filed a long time back with a different company. and now I was working with another like a full-time employee for another company now.
But wait. Who filed for your 485? The I-140 company? Who filed the 485 for you?
I-140 was filed through some consulting company back in time, but after that I moved to full-time through a client.
Who filed your 485? Did the client company or the previous consulting company filed it?
A previous consulting company. That company doesn't even exist now.
And they filed the 485 for you?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, I will do one thing, because if the company doesn't exist, I don't know how they will file the 485 application though. You may want your current company to file a EB3 I-140 application, permanent I-140 application. You see the point? If the company doesn't exist, how did they file the 485J supplement? How did they sign it?
It was there when it was current. After that, it was acquired by some other company.
Oh, just acquired by some other company. Well, if it's acquired by some other company, they can still file a I-140 downgrade for you.
Okay, but I need to change to that company from my
Well,
current.
depends on if you have to change what their demand is. That's up to you and up to them. Okay. Or if not, I would, with the current company, if the previous company is not willing to do it, I know it's going to take approximately 1.5 to 2 years for you to get an I-140 approval with the current company, but start it right now. The reason is that I don't want you to come 2 years down the line and say, oops, I should have done that 2 years ago. Because if you start the green card in EB3 right now, you're not going to be in big loss. If by any chance it doesn't get approved in the proper time and the priority date is current, so what? You know, you're not going to lose that much. I would still start right now EB3 application with the current company. We'll go to the next caller.
Got it.
But it's very hard for people to predict the priority date, guys. You know, USCIS can't predict, the State Department can't predict it. We cannot predict it. It's very hard for us to predict what the priority date is. But what I would recommend is to have 2 weapons in your hand so that you can use whichever is correct at that particular moment of time. You have the Pashupatastra, you have the Brahmastra, you can choose whichever you want. Otherwise, remember what happened to Karuna? He lost the one astra, he doesn't have another one, he's dead. So I definitely want people to have both astra, EB2 and EB3 with you. Next person, please.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Rahul, got one quick question. This is from It says, does USCIS know if a petitioner is going to port the date? They have mentioned old port date in my I-140 and 485 receipts. Do they make errors? We applied for 485 in September of 2022 and it's still pending. So asking.
So there, he said it's already been ported. So do they know the employers will port the dates? They do expect the employers to port the date though. They do expect the employers to port the date.
Okay.
But do the employers do? Yes. But it is your duty as an employee to inform the company, to inform the lawyer, to make sure they request for the porting. If you just come and say to us, apply for the labor in I-140, we normally ask the question, but there are some, whether have you had any other I-140 approval before? If you don't answer the question, or if some of the lawyers don't ask the question, then they won't know you have an I-140 approval previously. Remember, employment is immigration is not all Indians. There are non-Indians too. 50% of them are non-Indians too. So they don't need to port the date. They don't need to port the date. We need to port the date. So definitely it is your duty to inform, your duty to make sure that the I-140, when they file it, they port the date.
Okay.
But yes, when USCIS or State Department are moving the dates up and back and forward and up and back and forward, they do consider the porting the dates, that employees do port the dates.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, let's take our next caller. Thank you, sir. Okay. Caller with number ending in 0361. 0361, we're ready for you now. Hello?
Hello? Yes.
Hello? Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yes, I'm ready, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead, ma'am.
I thought only I'm ready.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, no, again.
Okay, go ahead.
All
Go
right,
ahead,
go
Can
ahead.
I talk?
Yeah,
Of
go
course
ahead.
you can. Please go ahead.
Can I talk?
Yes, please go ahead. We're waiting for your question.
Yeah. I have a question. I am trying to get a guardianship from India for the child. What is the maximum age we can get to the girl? What is the maximum age we can bring her here?
I remember speaking with you.
Yeah, I'm going to come again to you. Today I was just watching. Yeah. You know what? I have a 15-year-old girl.
I got it.
Can
Let me
bring
answer.
her?
Yeah, we had a discussion, but I'm going to discuss more thoroughly so that other people know also.
Yeah,
the
please.
relationship.
Yeah, can I put the TV?
I'm sorry?
No, okay. Can I put the TV on?
No. You don't put the TV on.
With the
Just
sound
listen.
here, ma'am.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just stay on the line.
Go ahead,
We'll
sir.
explain
Thank
it to
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stay on the
Go
line.
ahead.
So the adoption has to happen before 16 years of age for the people to bring in. Now, can people adopt any of the children in India and bring it though? There are limitations to those things. There are orphans and there are non-orphans though. If they are orphans, people know that orphan means they don't have mom and dad and they're growing up in the orphanage. If they are growing in the orphanage though, there is no other requirement. If the adoption process and everything is good, you can bring the child as your child. If it's under 16, you can bring it. The age is 16. So you can bring, Now, there are adoption process rules in India or any other host countries that you're bringing. You need to abide by those things. And of course, you need to abide by the US laws too. If they both are met, if it's an orphan, let me complete it. If it's an orphan, there is no requirement of any physical custody of the child. If the child is not an orphan, we had a discussion, I remember discussing with you. If you're from New York City, somewhere around that area. And if the child is not an orphan though, before you bring in the child as your child, you must have 2 years. On the basis of the green card though, you must have the sole custody of the child. You are in cases where people have a husband and wife, either of those people must have the sole custody of the child for 2 years. Physical custody.
From India, we have to get the
physical
guardianship from India.
No, ma'am. Guardianship is different. Sole custody is different, ma'am. Sole custody means you are in charge of the child. Guardianship is when the parents are giving you permission. So let's say I have a 6-year child. I say, okay, sister, why don't you take care of my child? I tell to you. That means I am giving you. That also 15 years is okay. But it's not guardianship that you should have. You should have the sole custody of the child. That means there is no interference, none whatsoever at all from the parents. You, as natural parents, you must have the sole physical custody. So if you're trying to bring a child from India who is not an orphan, you have to go there and stay there for 2 years to have the physical custody of the child to bring. Now, of course, I remember discussing with you, can the child come on B2? I would rather be off the record, not on the TV channel discussing that one. But in general, though, the requirement is that you must have 2 years of physical custody of the child. That means the only way is that since the child is not here, you have to go to India, stay there for 2 years, and you must have the sole custody of the child. You're not sharing that with their natural parents, and then you can apply for the I-130 process and bring it. Now, please consider that the process of bringing the person is 2 years. So that means that first you will have 2 years of physical custody, then you will file an I-130 application, and that process is going to be 2 years. So the total process is going to be 4 years to bring a child who is not an orphan. Okay? Now, if it's an orphan though, it may be shorter, but if it's not an orphan, it's not shorter. Okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Nitya.
Thank you. All right, let's take our next caller, please. All right, caller with number ending in 1118. 1118. We're ready for you now. Hello? Caller with number ending in 1118. We're ready for you now. Hello?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi.
Go ahead,
this is
sir.
Chantil.
Okay.
All right. I am in like EAD. I got like a GC EAD in the month of August. Like in almost 6 months it is completed for the waiting period. So is it something like I can switch the job with the EAD?
Absolutely. I'm assuming your I-140 is approved?
I-140 is approved. I filed my 485 supplement.
I understand, but you can file the 485 without I-140 approval. The answer is I-140 is approved. Now, there is no rule of 106 months of the EAD approval. You got a little bit confused, okay? But the answer is still the same. You can move to a different job, okay? It's after filing the 485 application, you have to wait for 180 days. It's not after the EAD approval. I just want to correct it so that all other people understand it. Now, in your case, since your EAD is approved, I'm already assuming you filed a 485 application through which you got the EAD. So absolutely you can change it. Do I see any risks in people changing the job? This question comes in very frequently though. If the I-140 is already approved though, we don't see much risk as long as you are in the same profession. So if you're going from Java, which is a software according to your terms, okay, the software guys, then you move to SAP, which is also a software. It's the same profession according to us. You're good. You can move. So yes, you can move the job if it's in the same profession.
Awesome. So thank you for the confirmation, sir. And the other thing is there something like, do I need to match that SAC code?
It doesn't have to match the exactly SOC code, but it has to be in the similar profession. So if it's a software engineer, system analyst, computer, other professions, and all those things, they all meet the requirements. It doesn't have to exactly match the job duties and SOC code, but it has to be within the same profession. Okay. Now, then comes the question. A lot of people, some of the people ask the question for me is that, do you need to file the 485J supplement? What does a new company need to do to take over the green card? Well, it's up to the new company. They can either file the 485J supplement at the time or about the time when you join, or they don't have to file the 485J supplement, but they must be willing to file the 485J supplement if there is an RFP or if there is an interview for the 485. Now, please note that even if the priority date is not current, the 485s are getting interviewed. So when you join the company, just ask them, will they be willing to file the 485J supplement? They will ask, is it a sponsorship? No, it's not a sponsorship. It's just a job confirmation. That's all 485J says. It's not a sponsorship. No money is being paid. You don't have to file any application before you join the company. It's just when there is an RFP, hey, do you have a job? Is it the same profession? That's all they're confirming. Here's a job you're confirming. The same thing is when you go for the 485 interview. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. One more question, sir. So if the 485 supplement J is not approved, still I can switch the job.
Sir, that's a very good question, guys. Question of the day. Absolutely. Even if the 485J supplement that you filed last year is not approved, you can move out to a different company. The only problem we notice is that when the I-140 is not approved, we definitely want you guys to check with the immigration lawyer. But you told me that your I-140 is already approved, your 485J is not approved, you can move out, you are in good shape to move out the job. Wish you best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for appreciation.
I'm sorry, I was speaking on mute. Let's take our next caller. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling in. Okay, caller with number ending in 2799. 2799, we're ready for you now.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi, sir. Rahul Reddy garu, Tvasia garu. Good evening. Hope you're having a great day. My question is, I have a approved EAD until 2024 April. And
That's for the 485 EAD, I'm assuming? What EAD
yes,
is
sir.
that? Okay, 485
GC EAD,
EAD.
correct. 485.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I have a H1 extension in process, expecting to be approved coming for a decision within a week or so. November 23rd is the receive date. I'm hoping a decision soon. But in April first week, I am doing a cruise trip to Bahamas. And my H1B stamping expired in December, last December. Can you please advise me on this? What happens if I travel with EAD and come back on AP? Can I use the approved H1 later?
You can. Absolutely, you can. Then
so
you
I'm coming back on AP.
You come back in advance parole. You come back in advance parole. Will your H1B extension be approved? Will there be any problem? Yes, absolutely. It will not have any negative impact on the H1B extension. Oh, Rahul, wait a minute. I told that when the extension is pending, if I leave the country, it's considered to be abandonment of the extension. That's the question people raise. That's what they get in when you search the Google or so. No, that is not right. When you apply for change of status, if you leave the country, you have abandoned the change of status application. When it's an extension of the application, which you told me you already have H1B, you filed the extension. You can go, it's not considered to be abandonment. Once you come back, it will be extended. You will not have any problem. Will you have any problem in traveling and coming back on advance parole on a cruise that you're going to go when the H1B extension is pending? Absolutely not a problem.
Okay, sir. A follow-up question for that. If there is any problem with the H1 extension process, can I fall back on my GC EAD?
Absolutely, you can. If, let's say, for example, the USCIS denies your H1B application, for whatever reasons it is they denied, okay? Assuming, then can you use the EAD to continue working? Absolutely, yes.
That won't have any effect in me coming back on AP?
No, even if the H1, let's say, for example, when you're outside in the country, they will deny, saying that it's not a specialty occupation. We denied, even though they have approved the H1B extension one time, second time, third time, fourth time. This fifth time, this crazy officer comes and denies your H1B application. Will you have any problem in coming by advance parole? No, no, no. You can still come back. No problem with it.
So I can still retain my status from last expiration of H1?
Well, that's a different. If the H1B is not expired, you are fine. To that time, you're fine. But you can come back in advance parole. You're in good shape.
My H1 expired December.
Well, if the H1 expired in December, if the H1B extension gets denied, you don't have the H1B, but you still have an EAD.
Thank you, sir.
So
you have a wonderful day, both of you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's take our next caller. Okay, caller with number ending in 2465. 2465, we're ready for you now. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Hi. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, good evening, Nitya garu.
Hi, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
good evening, Nitya garu, Rahul garu. Yeah, my name is Vansi. So I have my 140 approved with my previous employer in 2014, and my priority date is on 2014 itself. And I moved to full time on
and I got my another 140 approved with my current employer in 2021. Okay, and last year in 2022, I got EAD and advanced payroll, but my 485 is still in progress because of the COVID is over. So my I have approved EAD and advanced payroll. Now all of a sudden in Friday I have received a status update on my current 140 approved 140 on USCIS website that they have received some correspondence on my case 140 and they are working on the correspondence. So I don't know. I mean, I tried to reach out my attorney on the current employment, but I'm waiting for the response. So I'm just worried that current.
I'm not expecting any problem for you, though. I mean, it could be an error from the database from the USCIS. Your I-140 has been approved for more than 6 months right now. I'm not worried at all. I'd be relaxed if I were you. Based on the knowledge that I have, if I were you, I would be absolutely fine. The possibilities for you to get into trouble probably are less than the chances that you're going to meet in a car accident this weekend. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Okay then.
Thank you.
Okay. Stay safe, sir. All right, bye.
I just want to relax people. They shouldn't be worried about. So I just use some.
Drive safe. Don't drive for the rest of the weekend. Stay home. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Reddy.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, folks. I think we have come towards the end of our show. I know we have a lot more questions to deal with and a lot more callers waiting. But unfortunately, much as we like to schedule this as a 4-hour or a 5-hour show where we can, take numerous callers, we're a little bit locked for time. And so thank you so much for calling and for sending in your questions on the live chat as well. Rahul Garu, thank you so much, Andy, for helping all of our viewers and listeners, and being so candid about your answers. We really appreciate that, Andy.
Thank you.
And to all of our viewers, come back with your questions again next week. Please call in to the show, and the call-in number is also provided on the link that's there on the TV Asia show. I think it's 1866 TVAT USA, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll keep posting the number as well for you all to call in. So please call in, and we'll see you same place, same time next week. Okay. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
మలబార్ గోల్డ్ అండ్ డైమండ్స్ ప్రపంచంలో పెద్ద జ్యువెలర్స్ లో ఒకటి ఇప్పుడు డాలస్ కి వచ్చారు. అందమైన తేలికైన జ్యువెలరీ డిజైన్ల నుంచి చేతో తయారు చేసిన అతి క్లిష్టమైన కలెక్షన్ల వరకు 20 దేశాల నుంచి 30,000 విధాల ప్రపంచంలోకెల్లా ఉత్తమమైన జ్యువెలరీ డిజైన్ల అనుభవాన్ని పొందండి. 5,000 చదరపుటడుగల విలాసవంతమైన షాపింగ్ ఏరియా మలబార్ గోల్డ్ అండ్ డైమండ్స్ షోరూమ్ ని డాలస్ లో విజిట్ చేయండి. ప్రపంచ స్థాయి జ్యువెలరీని కొనుగోలు చేసే అనుభవాన్ని పొందండి. మలబార్ గోల్డ్ అండ్ డైమండ్స్ now open in Dallas.
గెలుపే ఊపిరిగా, పట్టుదలే ప్రాణంగా, ఆశయమే గమ్యంగా పోరాడే యోధుడికి విజయం అన్స్టాపబుల్. ప్రశ్నల్లో మరింత ఫైర్, సర్దాల్లో మరింత సెటైర్, మీకోసం మరింత రంజుగా. దెబ్బకి థింకింగ్ మారిపోవాలా? మీకోసం మరింత రంజుగా.
अब तू देख लेगा बच्चन साहब का खेल।
డౌన్లోడ్ ఆహా నౌ.
ఆకర్షణీయమైన చీరలు, అప్పురపరిచే ధరలు, అందరికీ నచ్చిన, అందరూ మెచ్చిన షో మన లక్కీ మహిళ. బోలెడంత ఎక్సైట్మెంట్, వండర్ఫుల్ విన్నింగ్ మూమెంట్స్.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్ చెప్పారు. మీరే గెలుచుకున్నారండి. కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్. $220.
సెలబ్రిటీ హోస్టులు, అదిరిపోయే పంచులు, సరదా సరదా కబుర్లు.
ఆశ దోశ అప్పడం బడ హెల్ప్ మీరు ఆడుతున్నారు.
ఇలా మరెన్నో మెమరబుల్ మూమెంట్స్ తోటి థర్డ్ యానివర్సరీ జరుపుకుంటోంది మన లక్కీ మహిళ. Watch it live only on TV Asia Telugu. మీ అందరికీ థర్డ్ యానివర్సరీ శుభాకాంక్షలు.